Hey everyone, I have a cool guitar that I want to share with you today. Check this out. It is a Heit, or he-it. Probably pronounced Heit though. Heit Deluxe. As far as I can tell, this seems to be made by the same people as Teisco, just not called Teisco or Teisco Del Rey or any one of their other variants. I have no idea what kind of pickups these are. Not your usual single coils. They seem to be more like microphones, because like when you tap the guitar anywhere, it makes a big thud coming out of the amp. And you can actually, with no strings at all, I've leaned this right up against the amp and it creates some crazy feedback. Could probably remake Metal Machine music just by leaning this thing on the amp and hitting record for an hour. Maybe I'll do that. You may notice the interesting pickup layout. It's not three evenly spaced, 1, 2, 3. It's like 1, 2, 3. There's a gap here. And the gap is because I was looking online, they actually make a 4 pickup model. They actually look kind of silly. I'll put a picture of one on the screen. Unlike a real Jaguar, the controls are pretty simple. 3 pickups, 3 switches, off, on. That's it, so you can blend them, get interesting sounds. There's actually a neat little story of how I came to have this guitar. Last summer, my dad was throwing out some appliances at the town dump, and he comes back and says, "Look what I found," and this was in the back of his truck. Why pay any more for one of those Fender Road Worn series when you can just go to your town dump and find a free guitar there? It's funny, a number of my instruments have actually come for free from the garbage or the dump or landfill or something, just found by the side of the road, and they tend to make good instruments. They make good stories, It's got character to it. It's a little beat up, got some rust down there. You can see the headstock's got little dings on it. In the back of my dad's truck, this is as we found it. This is the same day we found it. There were no tone or volume knobs on the guitar, and there was a 1/4 inch to headphone jack converter coming out of the guitar still. I don't really know what that was used for, but interesting. The tuners were not in the same shape they are now. You see, it's only got 4 of those little plastic doohickeys that hold the tuners in place, and it actually didn't have any tuners at all. And there's the back of the tuners, or where the tuners were. It's got that green string, which is probably hanging on someone's wall in their attic or their basement. So I had another guitar called the Terminator by a brand called Sonics, which is a pretty cool guitar, actually. The necks are basically the same size. So I had one that we used for parts, and I only had the neck left. So I came in, took the tuners off it, put them right on the Heit, and they fit. I didn't have those little plastic doohickeys, but I think it should still work fine. Here's a close-up of the pickups. If anyone knows the actual name or what type of pickups these are, that would be cool to know. Oh, I think it came with no bridge either. I took that off another Teisco or a Terminator or something. Here's a good look at all the bridge rust down there. So later, I brought it back to my house, and I opened it up. As you can see in this picture, there's not really much dust or grime. Like, it probably didn't go through a flood or anything like that. It's pretty clean. I washed the crap out of it. I vacuumed the crap out of it. Quick look at the inside of the knobs. Kind of a cool, natural, dirty look around where the screws are. People pay a lot of money for this kind of dirt. So when we got it, the neck was really, really, really dry. Like elephant bone graveyard dry. My dad had a solution called tongue oil finish, and he rubbed it up and down the neck a couple times just to give it some more color, bring it back to life, and really get a lot of that half a century's worth of dryness out of the neck. I had this box of old spare guitar parts. This is the old junk accessories box. In there I found a little whammy bar, tremolo bar, tried to fit it on. And I took the volume and tone knobs also from a Terminator Sonics. Another thing that I think is pretty cool about this is that it kind of looks like that guitar that Lou Reed and Sterling Morrison played in the Velvets. That was called the Kent Cobra. If I ever find one of those, I'm getting it, because that's as a Velvets fan, that's a collector's item. But this kind of reminds me of that. So maybe I'm gonna tell you what. Enough yapping from me. I'm gonna plug this thing in, put some strings on it, and maybe we'll get some cool Velvet Underground tones out of this, or maybe it'll snap and we'll fail. But check this out. All right, done putting the strings on. Here it is, in all its glory. Check that out. Kind of had a futuristic shape to him back in the 60s. You can see the headstock. Turns out you don't need those little plastic doohickeys there. It's got that 0 fret to help keep it in tune and intonated. If you can see, the string height is actually pretty okay for, considering this is found in a trash heap. I'm trying to show this best I can, but the high E string doesn't totally go over the neck which is kind of a problem. The little notch for the string that's carved into the bridge is just maybe like a centimeter or two away from where the string is, because I shifted the string over, because if it goes in the notch, it's actually resting over the neck, which is, can't really play that way. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching me noodle around and check out a new cool instrument. If this gets a good response, maybe I'll start doing videos where I talk about my guitar and my gears, because that's always fun if you're a nerd like me. See you later.